in the industry.
It's a nice industry that I chose to be a part of.
So the music industry is run by 3 companies. These companies are Warner Music Group, Sony Music, and Universal. While their business might be music, don't get it twisted. They're just as ruthless as any other company. The simple truth is, these different pots of money that you've given them over the beginning of the contract is just a fancy word for a loan. And over the remainder of their contract, they're gonna have to give you back every penny that you put in equity. You're gonna give the artist an advance, a signing bonus, a release rollout, and everything in between. But there's one major thing that most artists don't know. See, while the goal of all the money you've given them is to help them in the short term, it's also basically a trap.
Once you sign the deal, you get some free money, but it's not free because they tag it onto your debt. But it seems like free money, right?
So at this point in the story, it tends to go one or two ways. Either 1, the music is doing terrible and they can't pay you back, or 2, the music is doing okay, they end up paying you back and they want out their deal. So let's say the artist doesn't want to re-sign, but they paid you all your money back. And what you do is absolutely nothing. You're fine with this arrangement. And you're fine with this arrangement simply due to something called master ownership. What master ownership is in layman's terms is, every time this artist promotes anything, every time this artist's music comes on anything and any platform, you get a percentage of it.
The label usually gives you more than what they think you're going to do because they own your rights for eternity. So they know at some point, not in a year, not in 2 years, not in 3 years, not in 4 years. Sometimes they might have to drop you. You get with somebody else. They still own your rights. You get hot with somebody else's budget. Then they actually make their money back. It is what it is. They own it for eternity. The label is not. You see, only an artist plays the 2 to 3 year game. A label's playing the lifetime game, and then the label's also playing the game of, if you want your shit back, you gotta buy it back.
That sounds like a pretty good deal. It's like an investment that never ends. Now the artist is gonna like this, but who cares? And there's only one way we're gonna give that masters back. And they gotta pay for it like everybody else.
I can own the masters, and if I own the masters, I can tell you where it's going to go. And more importantly, I can tell you where it's not going to go. Can you imagine you've made your piece of music, it's yours, it's your art, you're in love with it, it's fantastic, it's a piece of your history and everything that's gone into it, only for some labels, if it's in the contract that they can do what they want, to go and get some money by sticking on a Tampax advert, and you're like, oh man, this is my art, this is my life, this is my story.
Now you might think that's kind of crazy. The artist has to pay for music that they sweat and bled over for the past few years? Well, yes. Anyway, the other option is even more juicy.
You're gonna get a $250,000 advance. You're not gonna own your rights. You're gonna get a 16% royalty. I could probably make you some more money on a publishing deal, but we're gonna have to tour, or you're gonna never make money on your royalties.
Right.
If the artist actually has a few hit songs, but they can't pay you back.
Y'all know any artists who got a really lit song but sold 50,000? Y'all don't gotta name them. Think about it. Y'all know any artists who got a really lit song? Because sometimes they might be spending some of that on one song. They might spend $1 million on promoting one song. Somebody just came out recently, they admitted, they say take $1 million to break one song, which I think it takes to get a whole album lit. So now, your album in a year has gained the label $1.5 million, but we're being nice. We're saying $2 million, and you're down $3.5 million.
So now we're trying to squeeze as much out of this investment as possible. That's where the 360 deal comes in. You see, the 360 deal sounds exactly how it is. Because you see, whether it's merchandising, writing royalties, or endorsement deals, you get a percentage into whatever that artist does. And don't feel bad for them. They owe you money, remember? You're the one who helped them in their career.
You and I are going to be partners. The point is that you and I are going to go through this whole journey together. By the way, a manager is a 360, right?
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Okay, so
get a piece of everything. Yeah,
and they're not putting up any of the equity or
Right.
the capital, or they
True.
don't have a big infrastructure.
This is true.
They have a mobile phone.
But you might still be saying, I don't know, this seems kind of like predatory behavior. And you'd be right. However, you seem to be missing one of the biggest things. You're Warner Music Group. Last year, Warner Music Group estimated a total of $6.4 billion in revenue. We're talking about a company that has an estimated net worth of $17 billion. This is also as they have some of the biggest record labels in the game underneath them. Because you have to remember, Warner Music Group is one of the 3 biggest music conglomerates on the planet. I'm talking about streaming, marketing shares, advertising, everything. Hey y'all, if we're being honest, this is the actual big 3. Y'all, these 3 companies own 3/4 of all the music on the planet. That's why whether you're Drake or Taylor Swift, it doesn't matter. The system is still the system, and there are levels to this thing. However, it's not all just one-sided. The big 3 might have stormy waters ahead. The economy's shaky, people seem to listen to music less. People are also more educated on how the game works. With that said, if we have learned one thing so far, it's that the industry does not panic. A lot of the record labels under the big 3 are being merged, executives are being fired, and money is being consolidated. Only time will tell if this is an actual opportunity for the artists to start fighting back. Or will the reign of the industry last for another century?